over 4 years. Paul Kelly captained them, Jason Dunstall, Nathan Buckley were some of their captains over the years. Neil Danaher coached them 2 years. Rodney Eade was part of it, was the coach in the first year they played. So it has been a concept around for a while.
And interesting, Kevin, to see Heaney and Mills head to head. That'll be a mouth-watering matchup over the course of this morning as we're set to go. And underway. Sullivan flew early. No effective tap, but he followed up nicely. Bruce probably held him a little bit too long. Umpire said play on. As the ball's hacked forward. It's a bit of aerial ping-pong to get underway. Wiedering laid it off. Here's a chance now for O'Kearney, who delivers up forward for the NAB AFL Academy, and they're full of running. Chance now for McDonald, who delivers inside 50. Good kick and good mark there to Achie.
Lovely kick by McDonald. Shifter, I mean, just really lace out.
So right half forward, elects to sit it up to the tip of the goal square. Wants some tall timber. And no mark taken in the end. Well done for the Allies by Harris Andrews. His kick not as good, and the ball eventually out of play.
And the Allies, of course, in the white jumpers, the NAB jumpers, if you like, a year older, and you'll see that with both their size and their body weight, so a bit bigger, a bit stronger. And the young Australian under-17 side, they'll really beat them, I think, on the spread with their pace and athletic ability. And we saw that in the first couple of passages of play. Their speed on the outside was pretty impressive.
Eads and then Weller couldn't gather. Ball out of play.
Well, that's what you're probably looking at, isn't it? Top-end abilities probably with the Academy boys, some of the great top-line draft picks for next year.
Sullivan palmed it down, then just tumbled it forward. No effective disposal there. Well done by Cockatoo, who ducked his head. Advantage paid, said the umpire, and the Allies just a chance to stem the tide momentarily. They use it well. Jackson off by a foot to Abe Davis, who's an exciting prospect, Kev.
Yes, he is a boy that can play both ends of the ground. Geez, a lovely size. About a 193 centimetre, 6'4", key position player. He's a boy from Sydney, so he's in the Swans Academy.
Kearney trying to kick across half forward. Cockatoo marked. He's got to look out. Managed to shrug the tackle, just tumbled it forward. Wobbly ball. Southern stand side, a chance for the NAB AFL Academy. They've got the numbers and they use it well. Here's Mills. Just retreats and they slow things down. One way then another was Crocker, Oakley Chargers boy. They tasted success in the TAC Cup Grand Final last year. And boys, both sides just taking a while to find their feet, it seems. As they move the ball forward, the Allies, numbers with the NAB AFL Academy. Ball spills free to Coughlin. Ferocious in tight. Well done in the end by Cole. Arched his back, came clear, and should relieve the pressure for the AFL Academy.
And a player to watch is going to be Nakaya Cockatoo. He's a boy that's missed most of the year through injury. The way it's unfolded, a boy from Darwin. He's been impressive in the first number of minutes, but some of his underage footy in the last couple of years have been impressive. If you're looking for one little piece of what he can do, it's his step through the traffic. He's got wonderful acceleration and agility, and has found the ball in the opening couple of minutes.
So ball just chipped towards O'Kearney. He marks between wing and left half back for the AFL Academy. Just steers it short. Aaron Francis played in the premiership last week with West Adelaide alongside Sam Durden, the highly touted big man from South Australia. And now he's got his opportunity to shine on the greatest stage of all, the MCG on Grand Final day. Chance for the Allies. They push forward. Kick inside 50, not great. Hamilman couldn't mark, nor could Coughlin, although he did well below his knees. Chance over the top there by Steele, did really well. And Hamilman stuck his big mitts up and clunked the mark 20 from home on a very slight angle plough.
Well, first Hamilman just offering up an option first up before he took that mark, but I like the work of Coughlin then. I just thought at ground level, showed that he could really sort of get hold of the ball at that level. Thought Heaney set that up really well in the lead up to the play. Just draw the man, make sure that he allows his direct teammate to get out into space.
Burst onto the scene in the NAB AFL Under-18 Championships early this year, Kev. From 20 metres, he makes no mistake. And we're off and away. Allies with first blood. They're one straight 6. Hamilman with his first. And the AFL Academy yet to score.
Yes, and Matty Hamilman, geez, impressive size. He's 198 centimetre boy, so he's 6'6". quick off the mark. He had a breakout game in the National Championships versus Tassie. Took 12 marks, kicked 4, and that's the day you said this boy can play. He got his confidence out of that. We have seen him at the other end of the ground as well, so he's got the speed to close down the tall forward as well. So that's a good start for Matty Hamilman, a boy from Morningside.
Yeah, him and Ubergang is the other one that I'm really looking forward to having a look at today as well.
And Hamilman, a Brisbane Academy player. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. But Lions fans, potentially another tall prospect coming your way. As they surge clear out of the centre, not a good kick there by Steele. It's chopped off by Mills. So he edges it towards the centre square. They try and effect the switch. It was Clark on the receiving end. He kicks laterally to Collins. And now they spread it further afield. As they come back out this broadcast side. Here's Francis again. They worked it patiently and well. Josh Dunkley, star of the Gatorade commercial. Just edges it forward. Good kick marked by Skinner, who was called to play on. Dunkley now another chance. Loops it the way of O'Kearney. And he was set upon in a strong tackle by Hodgson. And the ball locked up.
The AIS boys didn't get very far there, but you just gave you a first look at their skill level. Their foot skills are absolutely exquisite.
And the pattern of play also equally impressive, Terry. As we see another stalemate, the umpire looks like he's going to pay a free kick here. It's the holding the ball free kick that's going the way of the Allies. So Hodgson with the football. In fact, it's Dawson who kicks short.
Well, it is a fascinating contest because it is that high-end skill that the AIS boys will have versus what I'm expecting as a real intensity from the Allies boys.
Hislop returned the favour. We'll talk more about Caleb Hislop, his brother Tom, formerly on the lists of Essendon and Richmond.
Yeah, well, I coached him at the Tigers.
Back in 2008 or thereabouts, Terry?
Yeah, good family too. I sort of enjoyed when they come over from Tassie quite a few times.
As Mattingly sends it to his right half back line. McGuinness.
And the Allies are coached by Jason Saddington, who's been the state coach for New South Wales ACT in recent years, was named the All-Australian coach following New South Wales ACT's win in Division 2 of this year. Jason will now take over as the Giants Academy head coach for next year. He was a choice 11 himself in the national draft, and the other choice 11 that's coaching today is Brad Johnson.
Yes.
2-number choice 11, and of course the games record holder at the Western Bulldogs. He coaches now what's called now the NAB AFL Academy under the new brand, and today they're playing as the Australian under-17s.
Here's a chance for a Chi who went round the corner, and the ball offhand through for one behind. But back to Jason Saddington. Credit to him and also Mark Browning for the work they've done in the northern states, the New South Wales market, crucial at this point in time, and their performance in the national championships this year was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think Mark Browning deserves an enormous amount of credit for the work he's done over many, many years. In Tassie, initially in New South Wales and in Queensland, he's the talent manager up in that region, a former Swans captain, of course, 250 games. It'll be a special day for him today, not just for the Swans but to see the young boys from his region playing in this game. He's one of the initiators of this concept, to give the boys the chance to play, expand the game.
Well, Hodgson worked through traffic, did really well to create. Chance for the big man, Bruce. Sets it up long towards the tip of the goal square. Going back there was Hamilman. No mark taken, ball off hands, but they're looking potent, Terry.
Yeah, they are. And look, it was a beautiful mark on centre wing from Aaron Francis. Just the kick wasn't quite as good there, and the turnover came.
Here's a chance for Mills. Pumps it long in the Archie direction. No mark taken. You spoke about Cockatoo. Here he is, Kev. Spun out of trouble. Interesting option to retreat inside defensive 50. But still a chance with some time and space. Andrews kick towards Steele at left half back. O'Kearney's also been busy. He just edges it short. No mark taken. In the end, it was Agus who found Parsons. Now look out. It was Keys who kicked short. No mark taken inside forward 50 by Wiedemann. And good pressure in the end results in Abe Davis coming clear for the Allies. A nicely weighted kick too, found the chest of Coughlin, who's been lively early.
Been very good. He's really offering himself up as a target.
Just chips forward over the top. And foot marks on a long lead.
Just thought the defensive effort of Lockie Weller down here to spoil the ball in the back line was outstanding.
And then it was Terry. Highly rated youngster. Expected to hear his name read out early in the draft. Although this not as good by the Allies. Turnover. Chance for Archie. Kicks long inside 50. Option there. And Shackey with the one hand.
Good take.
The Murray Bushrangers leading goal kicker this year as a bottom major. Just extended that right arm. Brought it into his chest and has a chance from 35 to 40 out, boys.
And the Brisbane supporters back in probably Bears days would remember Laurie Shackey. It's the late Laurie Shackey, unfortunately died of illness quite a number of years ago. And young Josh has got many of his father's attributes. A terrific long kick, goal kicker, point kicker on this occasion. But he's had a very promising year playing with the Murray Bushrangers as a bottom age player.
That was a special take. I mean, just the ability just to be able to pluck it in off one hand like that was very good.
I think the amazing thing when you look at the list of players at this age, when you're 196 centimetres and 90 kilos at 17 years of age, it suggests you've got a bright future as long as you've got the athleticism, and no doubt that's something he's going to continue to work on. This is the coverage of the AFL Academy taking on the Allies, live and exclusive on afl.com.au. As the ball's kicked towards Coughlin, used his body really well, turned, went inside 50, the kick was great, and Howard came out and marked strongly. Not an easy ball to take in the end, it wobbled a little bit in the air, but the main thing is that he could lean onto it.
Oh, well, Coughlin's the best player on the ground at the moment. He's just really sort of setting them up with his ability. He showed early in the game that he could do it at ground level, but now just that hit-up capability. He's been involved in about 3 actions already.
So Howard, a chance to extend this lead. And they've looked the cleaner of the two sides. They're the top ages, the AFL Academy, a team of bottom ages, as Howard squeezes it through, and they have their second. So the Allies 2-1-13, leading the AFL Academy 2 behinds as we tick up to 12 minutes. Each of the quarters today going 20 minutes. And for their thoughts, the AFL National Talent Manager Kevin Sheehan and former Starhawk, former coach of Richmond and the Western Bulldogs, Terry Wallace, in the special comments chair.
He's an interesting prospect, Dougal Howard. I've seen him play both ends of the ground, and at 195 centimetres, they're blooming hard to find as quick as he is. So he got separation off his opponent pretty well there on the lead, and a wonderful finish from Coughlin, wasn't it, as you said, Terry, presenting very well as a lead-up tall forward as well. He's also an impressive size at 193.
So it's the AFL Academy to come clear out of the centre. Matheson did the clearance work as that kick came forward from Argus. The ball punched free and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Well, Tristan, the difference between the two sides at the moment, I think the Academy boys have been going okay. It's just that the key forwards for the Allies have been the real standout. When they've gone forward, they've had probably more easy and clear targets at the moment.
Bruce did well in the ruck. That almost thrown out of there by Clark. Umpire let play go. A chance for Heaney. Does well. Links with Cockatoo. Now they're away. Mattingly at half back. Usually uses it well. Kick wasn't bad. Well, they made Watts work. He was good enough to mop up. Then weighted it towards centre wing. Cockatoo with the one hand. No mark taken. They're just working in numbers. Working feverishly. Just on this occasion it comes undone. So a chance for the AFL Academy on the rebound. Although skill execution just letting them down at this point in time. McDonald delivers forward. Kick wasn't bad, but filling the hole, the big man Bruce. And he's a fair lump of a lad too, Kev.
A fair lump at 205, so he's a giant at over 100 kilos already. An amazing sized boy, and he's a rugby boy from Townsville. He only had 2 or 3 years in the game. So a genuine size for a ruckman. I've seen him mainly play tall forward for Queensland National Championships, and he'll be an interesting one to follow.
Well, here he is on cue. Just held his position fantastically well as Dawson was wrapped up.
Well, already he looks more mature than what you see a lot of the young boys come through. He does look like someone that could be ready-made to come in.
Dawson got his hands free. Heaney lost his footing. But in numbers, they prevail. Hislop works his way into space, finds the footy to McGuinness. And now A chance for steal. Centre circles, delivers forward. Once again, Coghlan could perhaps be on the end of this, although he got a really cruel bounce.
Oh, well done.
Did no favours, although his second effort fantastic. Just not the precision in the execution on that occasion. And Tahana over the top to O'Kearney, who's also been lively early. He comes clear off half back. Delivered up towards centre wing position. That southern stand side. Yes, Terry?
This has been their problem, Tristan, just getting through here or across half forward.
Well, Kearney followed up. Delivered towards Shackey. Meeting the sandwich. No mark taken. Aidan Johnson was at the fall of the ball. All locked in the end. And we'll see another ball up.
The Allies have done it pretty well. They've got numbers back, which has just made it a little bit more difficult for the boys to find their targets with the NAB AFL Academy.
Skinner did the ruck work in the end. Round the corner went Wiedemann towards the goal square. But now a chance for Jackson to rebound, and he does so with purpose. Takes the game on. Sends a handball the way of Hislop, who showed nice agility and delivered well out towards Hamilman, a long way from home. They just look to be finding the exits, boys, and then kicking to an open forward line has made them really dangerous. As Abe Davis went back with the flight, no mark taken. And the kick round the corner came from Ben Crocker. In the end, ball not clear. Trickles over the boundary line, it'll be tossed back in.
Well, at the moment it is. It's just the body strength and size of some of these Allies boys that are just giving them targets that they can actually go to on the exits.
Terry Wallace here alongside Kevin Sheehan and Tristan Fernandez, my name, bringing you all the action from this curtain raiser. AFL.com.au, the only place to see it. And I think a great initiative, Kevin, by you, Mick Ablett and the team, to try and join forces with Mark Evans and his plans to try and get a game like this played before the big guns. As that one was hacked forward, in the end, Curnow, familiar name, we'll talk more about him in a tick. Kick not great, perhaps wasn't the best option, but the umpires picked out a free kick. Will go the way of the Allies.
Just didn't go back. Yeah, just didn't go back quick enough, Curnow, and just balanced himself off.
And Curnow is the brother of Ed, of course, from Carlton. So it's Charles, and just in the last week has been added to the NAB AFL Academy. Playing today, of course, is the Australian under-17 side. They're playing in that Australian jumper. This is the second game that many of these boys have played as the Australian under-17s. They played New Zealand earlier in the year. About 20 of them were in that game, and there's about another dozen or so boys have been added to the NAB AFL Academy and getting this special chance to play in Australia's colours.
So the Allies with the brighter of the two starts. Handy 11-point lead as we close in on quarter time. And perhaps one last roll of the dice. In fact, 2.5 minutes remaining in this opening term. Free kick on play. It's going the way of the Allies.
Well, you just knew that they were going to be in and under the Allies, boys. I mean, so desperate to get that opportunity to get drafted this year. They've really sort of set the standard.
Their work in tight's been clean and quick, Terry.
Yeah, very good, very good. I've been really impressed with Heaney again. We know he's such a good talent, but his hands in close have been outstanding early.
As we see Glenn Jakovich down there, Brad Johnson and Jason Saddington, as you mentioned, Kev. As his kick comes towards goal, it's got the journey. A fantastic kick in the end. I can't quite pick up who that is, Kev. You might be able to assist me.
It's like Liam Dawson to me.
Dawson's also had a prolific start to this game of football. As we see a few of the old members who filed in early. Take a look at who the D's perhaps might be drafting in coming years. It was Dawson, the goal kicker. Well picked up, Kev. And he's another likely prospect.
Yes, a boy from Queensland, an All-Australian last year, not this season. You'll see the tape on the shoulder, had a shoulder injury during Nationals, but geez, form last year was sensational as a bottom ager. Won the Harrison Medal for the best and fairest in Division 2 of the National Championships, and he's a boy that can play both ends of the ground. I think he'd be a bid player for sure for the Brisbane Lions.
Key's got the clearance, kicked up towards half forward. Look at Eads, went with the one hand, got the handball clear to Archie. Flying shot on goal is wide. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, that's what you're looking for. Just that clean touch that you saw from Eads on that occasion was very good.
Boy playing with the North Ballarat Rebels under the guidance of Phil Partington up the highway from where we are today.
I'd like Calamar cheese work too in this first quarter for a boy that missed nationals again due to injury this year. So he's come back just in the last half a dozen games over there at South Fremantle. That he's a slick mover. Just he's got that turn of speed and that step through the traffic. Straightened up beautifully. Then couldn't finish with his kick, but the way he found space was impressive.
On the stroke of quarter time, scores will remain as the Allies 3-1-19. NAB AFL Academy 2 behinds. We'll take this opportunity for a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get the thoughts of the AFL National Talent Manager Kevin Sheehan and the former Star Hawk. 254